Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Bexar County Court at Law number 6 and the Bexar County Veterans Treatment Court. I'm Judge Wayne Christian. We have two motions to revoke probation hearings set today, March 15th, 2021. It is approximately 2:15 in the afternoon. I have case number 632-602, State of Texas versus James Herman, represented by Woodrow Halstead. And I have cause 615-260, State of Texas versus Efren Alvarado, represented by Mr. Paul Acevedo. I have Ms. Susan Gross representing the Bexar County CSCD, who I will swear at this time. Ms. Gross, please raise your right hand. You swear the testimony you are about to give to be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help you God.
Yes, sir, I do.
And we have Nicholas Maru and Alexis O'Connor representing the Bexar County Criminal District Attorney's Office. First case we're going to take up is cause 632-602, State of Texas versus James Herman. Mr. Herman and Mr. Halstead, I have two documents for y'all to identify, both of which purport to have your signatures on them. Mr. Herman, the first document is titled Defendant's Consent to Motion to Revoke Hearing by Video Conference. Is this your signature on this document, sir? Is Mr. Herman with us?
He was. Is he still in the break room? Let me get.
Judge, just a heads up. We're planning on withdrawing. We've reached an agreement. We're planning on withdrawing this MTR, Judge.
No, go ahead and do that. We don't need Mr. Herman for that, do we?
No, sir.
So go ahead, State, make your motion.
We are going to alter and amend conditions, though, Judge.
We are altering amending conditions, but state's going to move to withdraw the motion to revoke probation at this time, Judge.
So at this time, in cause 632-602, the state is moving to recall the motion to revoke community supervision. No objection from the defense, that will be granted. And then you want to request some alter and amendings on probation. Is that correct, State?
It's correct, Judge. We want to alter and amend to add weekly UAs and show substantial compliance within 30 days of this hearing.
In Mr. Herman's case, correct me if I'm wrong, Ms. Gross, we've had continuous problems with alcohol and marijuana. What, probably 2 or 3 instances of each over the last year or so?
Yes, sir. He's had 2 positive drug tests for marijuana, and he has also had positives for alcohol. His last clean UA was on March 1st of this year.
Is Mr. Herman still utilizing the Smart Start mobile device?
Yes, there does not appear to be any issues with that, and he's also completed DWI education as well as victim impact panel and CAT-SNP.
How many loads or time today is Mr. Herman blowing on the Smart Start mobile?
I'm sorry, you're breaking up, Your Honor. You have a terrible connection.
All right. How many times a day is Mr. Herman blowing on the Smart Start mobile currently?
4.
Okay, leave him at 4. Is the probation department recommending anything like intensive outpatient to address the continuous alcohol marijuana problem, or are we just gonna let him go? He's already been through basic rehab.
The officer was going to recommend that we add weekly drug testing and that he shows substantial compliance within 30 days.
Okay, that's the defense agreed on, I think.
Right, and the only other thing would be to add maybe a drug offender education class to address the marijuana use.
Fix them. Okay. And the only other thing you're recommending is what? I'm sorry?
I said it's not the officer's recommendation, but the only other thing would be to add a drug offender education class to address the marijuana use.
You've never done the DOEP course?
No.
What do you have an objection to that? That'll be the only variation on the theme on your agreement with the state.
Your Honor, my preference would be that we just go with the officer's recommendation of the weekly urinalysis. With Mr. Herman, we do have the 2 positive urinalysis. He is testing clean now. I think he understands he should not be using any illicit drugs nor being exposed to any illicit drugs while he is on probation. We would ask that the court not impose the DOEP at this time.
Okay, Mr. Herman, let me just speak directly to you
I'm
with
here, Your Honor.
your attorney present. Your attorney has convinced the state that you deserve another chance, and the state has moved to withdraw the motion to revoke your probation. So I granted that. So that has been withdrawn. At this point in time, the only variation on what we're doing, and maybe it's a continuation, you're still going to be doing weekly UAs. Okay. Now you show me 1 month, 4 weekly UAs that all come up squeaky clean, no marijuana, no alcohol, and I'll put you back on monthly UAs. So Woody, you'll have to keep me informed if that transpires.
Will do, Judge.
Yeah, something to look forward to that going. You've had kind of a continuing problem with falling off the wagon on me, both on alcohol and marijuana. I want to make it crystal clear, and Mr. Halstead will back me up on this. This is your last chance. We're not going to play this game anymore. You've got the best lawyer in town, but he can't save you again. If Jesus Christ himself came down from heaven above, he can't save you again. So no more problems. Let's have a nice life. It appears you're going to be on probation with us until April of 22. Is that correct, Susan?
Yes, yes, Your Honor.
That's a long time. So just make your peace with God and stay away from your buddies with the colorful activities, and we'll be fine. Fair enough, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Herman. What do you?
Yeah, Mr. Herman, your officer will be emailing you some documents to sign within the next 24 hours. If you don't hear from Miss Maines by like noon tomorrow, give her a call, okay?
Okay.
And she'll get you set up on the call-in line and all of that fun stuff. And also, Judge, there's like 10 victims in this case. And just to let you know, the restitution investigation is still underway.
Okay. Did Mr. Herman have insurance at the time of this accident?
He did, Your Honor, and I believe that I think we provided documentation to the state regarding that. I think all of that has been taken care of, but it's been a while since I looked at the file, so I can't guarantee that.
Okay. Well, Ms. Gross, please advise the officers that are doing the investigation to try to get to the bottom of that at the earliest possible time. We've got another year to worry about it, I guess.
Judge, letters have been mailed to all the victims, and it looks like only a couple of them have come back so far. So, you know, we can only go as fast as the Postal Service and as fast as the victims return the letters.
That's fair enough, but I haven't received anything on what they've done or haven't done. Please keep Mr. Halstead and the DAs in the loop and let them know what's going on with that until you get a final result from all the alleged victims. Okay, we're good on that. And state, anything further? Is that basically it?
Good, Judge.
All right. What do you got? Anything further?
Nothing further from the defense, Your Honor. We'd ask to be excused.
Okay. Good luck, Mr. Herman. Thank you, Mr. Halstead.
Thank you, Your Honor. Have a great afternoon.
Okay. We've got it's called 615-260 State of Texas versus Efrain Alvarado, represented by Mr. Paul Acevedo. And
we're present, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Alvarado and Mr. Acevedo, I need you to identify your signatures on 2 documents. The first document is entitled Defendant's Consent to Motion to Revoke Hearings by Video Conference. Mr. Alvarado, is this your signature on this document, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. And Mr. Acevedo, is this your signature on this document, sir?
Yes, it is, Your Honor.
Thank you. The next document is entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal, which is marked, quote, is an adjudication of guilt following a deferred adjudication, and the defendant has a limited right of appeal, unquote. Is this your signature on this document, Mr. Alvarado?
Yes, Your Honor.
And the same question for Mr. Acevedo.
Yes, it is, Your Honor.
Thank you. My understanding is this is an uncontested motion to revoke probation. Is that correct, Paul?
Yes, Your Honor.
And let's see, on the motion to enter adjudication of guilt and revoke community supervision, how does the defendant plead?
True, Your Honor. True with an explanation, Your Honor.
Okay, Ms. Gross, would you please advise the court and the parties what the status of Mr. Alvarado's probation is currently?
Judge, Mr. Alvarado has been reporting as directed. We last saw him on March the 2nd of 2021. He is paid $1,251 and has a balance of $350. He's completed 60 of his 60 hours of community service. He has completed his Smart Start mobile term. He completed DWI education, victim impact panel, CAPSNIP. As a result of a prior violation report, it was altered and amended to add a drug offender education program and the zero tolerance program. We have no proof of completion of the drug offender education program. And we have a total of 6 positives for marijuana and 5 negatives. His last 2 drug tests have been negative. However, he did test positive, excuse me, he did test positive for marijuana on 27 January of 2021. And he's had 1 diluted drug test. For criminal history, he has a prior possession of marijuana 0 to 2 ounces, and he successfully completed a deferred adjudication probation for burglary of a habitation. This case does expire tomorrow. His officer is recommending that his deferred adjudication be revoked and that he be placed on regular probation for a period of 6 months.
Defense, what are you requesting?
Your Honor, I would ask the court to take into consideration that he has completed all programs. His positive results were coming down. Each time he tested positive, they were in fact coming down. And he recently had a drug test today, and that should be negative also. He had a test, a UA done today, and that should be negative also. He's prepared to pay the last payment on his probation. I want to say it's about $350. And with that being paid, everything should be complete. All classes, all community service hours, and of course the fine and court costs would be paid in full. He has proof of his DOEP class on his phone. I could either put it up to the camera, or I could just have it emailed.
I believe you, and I'm sure the state will believe you. That's not an issue.
Okay, so I would ask the court to just let this case die of natural causes and come off your docket.
State recommendation on Mr. Alvarado.
Judge, the state's gonna go along with probation.
Probably know what I have in mind as punishment for Mr. Alvarado is to revoke his deferred adjudication probation, find him guilty. He has 5 days credit, and give him a JSAT. Is that equitable to the defense?
I think so, Your Honor.
State, would that be okay with you?
Yes, Judge.
Mr. Alvarado on call 615-260, the court accepts your plea of truth, all conditions on the motion to enter adjudication of guilt and revoke community supervision. I grant the state's motion to enter adjudication of guilt. I find you guilty of the offense of obstruction of a passageway, roadway, or waterway. I sentence you to 10 days in the Bexar County Jail, assess a $1,000 fine plus court costs, credit for time served, time and money to run concurrent, judgment satisfied. Anything further from the state or the defense of Mr. Alvarado?
That should do it, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Alvarado, and thank you, Mr. Acevedo.
Thank you, Judge. I appreciate you. Didn't mean to interrupt you on Friday.
No problem. That's all good.
I'm not even going to tell you where I was on Friday, but that'll be for another day.
Good luck, Mr. Alvarado. Thank you, Paul.
Thank you, Judge.